people.
And this is Ken Kreitzer at Pelham Rotary. We had a great talk today by a woman who's had a very interesting career in the theater, performing arts, and radio, and that is Ivy Austin. And Ivy, it was great to see you, and you gave a very interesting talk about your career to Pelham Rotary today.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun. I was asked to come and join everybody here for lunch, and I tried to give people an overview of my eclectic career, my journey in the performing arts. As I always tell people, there's no right or wrong way to do it. You just, if you've got a passion, that's what you've got to go on. And I always say, you just continue to be creative and reinvent.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned early in your professional career, you got to take a play to the Soviet Union to perform. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, we always say that the show Raggedy Ann has the distinct honor of being the only Broadway show to have had its out-of-town tryouts in Moscow. And this was a show that I was involved with for 3 years. It takes a long time to create and to give birth to a Broadway show. It can take 3 years, it can take 10, even 20 years. There are all sorts of stories out there. And this is something that we developed up in Albany at the Empire State Institute for the Performing Arts. And this institution was actually invited to Moscow, and we were the first group to go over to the Soviet Union on a cultural exchange after a 7-year hiatus. And it will always be one of the most thrilling adventures in my life and career.
Absolutely. And you had the extraordinary experience to work with Garrison Keillor on National Public Radio.
Yes, I did.
Prairie Home Companion.
Yes,
what was that like?
I traveled with him for 4 years, playing all sorts of characters and singing with Rob Fisher and the Coffee Club Orchestra. Phenomenal conductor and musicians, and I also, in addition to playing the roles, I got to be the girl singer, as she's called in the world of big band.
Why has Garrison Keillor been so successful?
Oh, I just think that he writes stories that everyone can relate to. Just about every regular Joe and Jane.
Absolutely. And one of the things we talked a little bit about, which is difficult for so many people, is overcoming stage fright.
No!
And being able to perform on a stage, I know it'd be very difficult for me, but how do people, professionals, overcome stage fright and that nervousness?
Well, I don't know if any performer can really overcome it entirely, nor should you want to. I think everyone needs to have a certain amount of excitement and nervous energy, and that's what makes a performance. I mean, that's the thrill, not only for you, but for the audience. I mean, there's always a bit of walking the tightrope when you're performing. I mean, I've had all sorts of experiences. Sometimes I'm so nervous, no matter how well I know a song, I might sing or recite the lyrics to myself 3 times, 4 times, 5 times as I'm standing there in my gown waiting to enter. Obviously, the more preparation you have, theoretically, the less anxiety you would have. But truth is, when the stakes are high and you just want to be, you want to be your best, and that makes a person nervous. What can I tell you?
Absolutely. Now, Ivy Austin, maybe you could tell us a little bit about some of the productions you're working on. You got a couple of exciting things happening in New York.
Yes, I've been crossing over to the other side of the footlights. I still do perform, but I've been putting my energy towards commercial theater producing, and I am currently working on capitalizing a revival of a show that hopefully will be on Broadway in the fall, and working also as an associate producer with a group called Sunny Spot Entertainment.
That's great. come from a family that really appreciates Broadway and enjoys going to performances.
Good. Keep going to the theater.
Ivy Austin, thank you very much. Best wishes on your future productions. And thank you for speaking to Pelham Rotary today.
It was my pleasure. Thank you.
This is Ken Kreitzer at Pelham Rotary.